Listen up, wrestling fans.
That's right, listen up. This is Strong Honor, where we talk about Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Lots to talk about this week with the Dominion show happening last week, the second biggest New Japan show of the year. Some are calling it the best New Japan show of the year. I actually did like it better than Wrestle Kingdom this year, I think. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about Dominion. So many titles changing hands on that show.
Wow.
So lots to get into it with that. Talk a little Ring of Honor at the end of the show. I kind of want to touch on maybe a little bit of New Japan for beginners on this week's episode, because I've seen a lot of people that are new to New Japan just getting into it, hearing about the hype. Yeah. Jericho's second big match in New Japan, and then of course, all the hype about Okada and Omega and their fourth match ever here. So we'll get into all of that right after I close the door.
Yeah, fuckface.
It was my fault because I think I forgot I was the last one in and out of the room. So
this fucking guy
over here. So yeah,
now we're like stuck in like a vault.
We are
in a vault,
but it is a studio, which I did consider, actually. We talked about this, Taco, on our trip to Chicago. I considered moving all this shit outside today, since it is so nice, and doing a show like in the garage or something, because that'd be today would be a good day for it, since we are celebrating the Best of Super Juniors contest that we had, where Joe lost and bought the beers. Joe, we don't know how much Joe lost by, if at all. He just never bothered bringing his predictions in to contrast and compare.
I wasn't able to watch it as consistently, and it kind of fell behind on certain things.
So it's very bituminous of you.
By default, Joe has bought the beers, and today would have been a good day to be outside drinking beers, maybe smoking some cigars in the garage, talking a little Dominion.
Yes,
but
Deschutes Obsidian Stout. I think it's out of Oregon.
I think he might have swore there, but I'm not sure. But
maybe.
But
That'd be awesome if
nevertheless,
it was named after a swear word.
Yeah, this is good stuff. I've had this one before, this Obsidian Stout. So yeah,
it's like the eat my ass beer. It's like, hey, did you have some of that? Yeah, dude.
I don't have the usual gross soundbite up here.
I'm a loose cage sometimes
for Taco. So
like a wild card.
Speaking of sound bites, I was really hoping to get some. We had some good audio from the post match stuff.
I didn't get to see any of that.
Exactly. I think that that's like the case for a lot of people. So I was hoping to grab some of the post match promos from some of these guys and play them on the show today. But my fucking laptop was being a pain in the ass. It had to update for 2 hours.
Of course.
So I didn't get the sound clips that I wanted to, but we've got I've got it all in my head, so I guess we'll try to get to everything as we kind of run through here. I don't want to do the typical run through the results and highlights of all the matches. We'll do some of that here, but I mean, it's been kind of far enough removed from the event. This was way back on Saturday.
We just had a Young Lions thing happen.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I wish I would have got a chance to watch that today.
I did get to see Nagata beat the shit out of Young Lion before work, so that was great. That's how I started my morning. It's like, yeah.
Nagata took on, was it Oka? Or
might have been. I'm so bad with the Young Lions. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I definitely want to check that out, but I didn't get a chance. I wanted to watch. I watched the Okada and Omega match again today, so I wanted to watch that for at least a second time before doing the show today. So I did that and got caught up on the promos and everything else. So I'll be checking out the Young Lions show eventually. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit on next week's show here. But let's talk about the biggest news of the week, of course. Okada defeating Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in their
vice versa.
I was about to say
Omega defeating Okada.
My bad. I just got the O names mixed up. Yeah, Omega finally defeating Okada.
The O names.
Their fourth match here. This is what New Japan. This is what it's all about, right? This has been what we've been talking about, as you called it, the long con, the long term storytelling, the struggle to finally defeat this strong champion who's defeated everybody who's come before him. And even last week when we were making our predictions, I couldn't say that Omega was going to finally do it because Okada has been presented so strong. But it's just it's such a natural story to tell, and they did such a great job telling that story in this match.
We pretty much said it last week that Omega had to win this one. He can never be in that title picture ever again if he doesn't win, and there's just more to be told with that on him at this point.
Yeah, it took him this long to get the championship. Okada being booked so strong, it's like who does he have left? Finally, Omega beats him. Sanbon
Twice in a row.
Sanbon Shobu, 2 out of 3 falls. That was another soundbite I was hoping to get.
Yeah.
I'll get them all by next week, hopefully.
What did you guys think of the 2-minute breaks in between falls?
Loved
compared to like an Iron Man match.
I liked it. Yeah, it's because it felt sports-like. It felt like it was two different things, because it was like, these guys are probably going to go over an hour. Let's give them a 2-minute break here. So I didn't mind that at all. What were your thoughts, Joe?
Oh, I loved it. It was interesting to me because, like, again, it's almost like a respect. It's a different world with New Japan in the sense that, like, there's just these slightly different rules, and I just enjoyed the fact that they could settle down. You didn't have, the one guy just immediately attacking the other guy like right away. Like, it was just, they got to face off again, and we start from square one.
What I really liked about going from the second to the third fall, just to break it down, not to completely break it down, but Okada getting the first fall with like the leverage pin. It was like, okay, we didn't get to see anybody's finisher here, but everybody was attempting their finishers. No one could quite get it, and Okada gets a victory out of nowhere.
And it's sent that chill down your spine, though. Like, oh fuck.
Right.
See, and I just didn't think it was completely out of nowhere because they were over a half an hour when that pin went in. So it's like I honestly could have went either way with that first pin. And I've really enjoyed that fact.
Well, and then you come back to it in the second fall. They're going back and forth, all these crazy finishing attempts. Okada teases that same roll-up in the second. So they're already doing... It's funny because everybody talks about the callbacks to the old matches, all the spots that they've done in previous matches that they call back to in this match. The running high cross over the barrier, the springboard out of the ring to the floor, the stuff with the table, of teasing the backdrop onto the table out of the ring, or the dragon sleeper onto the table outside of the ring. They teased both of those but never did them, and then they're hitting their fucking finishers on the floor, reverse ranas on the floor, teasing all of that stuff. All this stuff is callbacks. And then in the second fall, doing a callback to the finish that they did in the first fall. It's just fucking amazing. And then, Kenny hitting the one-winged angel, finally getting that pin in the second fall. And then the way, going all the way back to the 2-minute rest period, Okada just being dead after the one-winged angel, just laying there, selling it completely, all the way into ringing the bell, going into the third fall. Kenny pouncing on Okada and just going after him right away, and Okada, desperately, escaping the one-winged angel attempt right away, and escaping the one-winged angel, finally hitting a Rainmaker into the third fall, but like right away. But then he's so exhausted he can't get over to cover him right away, and then it's callbacks to the hour-long match where he's crawling over to Omega trying to make the cover, just gets an arm on him, near fall. So it's just like, it's so many
amazing storytelling.
Like,
just come on.
Okada was gassed, and he's the one that collapsed trying to hit Omega.
Right? Yeah, because again, going back to the hour match from a year ago,
Omega was the one that was too gassed to do anything.
Right, but Okada goes to hit him with the damn Rainmaker, and he just falls over without even getting hit.
Just crumbles.
And now it's the opposite. Like Okada is so spent and so dead from taking the one-winged angel in the second fall that he's hitting drop kicks, and Kenny's not going down. And then he goes to hit a Rainmaker, like we were just saying, and he kind of hits him with it, but it's so weak, Okada just topples over himself. It's just, and that's the thing is, if you hadn't seen any of those other matches, this is still a really great match. But
that's kind of how I look at it, because again, I'm not technically as invested in the New Japan thing as you guys, so I don't get to follow as much of the stories. But when I watch this match, and again, I posted it, fucking Okada won me over with this one. I mean, there's nothing I can say about the man is amazing. Like, in a losing effort, the man won me over, in that sense. Again, I needed to see that part of Okada, and I think that's, what did it for me.
Yeah, and again, entertaining if you hadn't seen all this stuff, but if you had, it pays you off for paying attention. I don't want to turn this into a bag on WWE conversation at all, but there's so many times where you wish they would do a better job at telling a long story and doing something like this, but they just don't.
Even when they get committed into something, they usually bail on it.
Right,
6 months in,
or do a half-assed version of something, or
it takes the stars though. It takes the wrestlers.
Yep.
It takes the men or female women out there too. Whoever is in that position, who would have thought that Omega and Okada 1 would have been a show stealer like it was, and it was. It kicked doors down and fucking it created a zombie almost. Like now we're craving brains. We want more. We're eating this shit up, and just the course of that these two guys have run, over the last 2-3 years now. It's tremendous. It's patience. It's don't treat your audience like they're fucking stupid. It's great. It sticks out, and it's just God damn. The subtle storytelling.
So choked up over the drama of the match.
But yeah, it's just I love it, and it's just the simple fact that it was a 2 out of 3 falls match, and then out of everything that's been said and done in their whole feud, Omega had to pin him twice in a row. Just that little detail in itself was like, fuck. He had to pin that badass champ that was like records. Yeah, let's cross those.
Not
out,
only can
put
nobody
my name on
nobody
them.
can beat the guy, but now after losing to him in the first fall, you have to beat him twice in a row.
Yes.
It's like, whoa, dude. And Don Callis and Kevin Kelly did such a great job of
phenomenal.
selling that point on commentary too. A couple other cool notes here. When Omega hit the fucking Styles Clash for a near fall, how cool. And the fact that they're not just like setting up and hitting moves. Almost everything that they hit is like out of a series of counters.
Yeah.
Like they're going back and forth and then boom, hitting a move, but they have to counter 3 different things first before they get into it. And then when Ibushi was like, go up top, hit the Phoenix Splash or whatever, hit my finisher, go for that move, and he goes for the Phoenix Splash but then misses. That was a cool moment. And
satisfying splash.
Constantly going for the tombstones too, and failing on some of them.
Well, even like in the first fall, Okada hit 2 tombstones. One of them was on the apron. One of them was in the ring. And then I think he hits a spinning tombstone right away in the second fall.
There's a few. I'm like, check on him quick, please.
Well, and into the finish too. I mean, Omega hit like a butterfly pile driver thing, and then that was into the first one-winged angel that he hit, which was like off balance, and it was like they got tangled up in the ropes or whatever, and so Omega didn't cover him on that one. Came back, hit a V trigger, then hit another one-winged angel that was beautiful, and then that was for the big finish at the end.
I'm so glad they didn't have a night the next night, because every fucking guy on that fucking Saturday night or whatever Dominion Day was, they beat the shit out of each other every single match.
Sure.
Like looking at this year's Wrestle Kingdom, fucking great show, awesome show, but just the sheer brutality people brought for Dominion was just awesome.
Yeah, and we'll get into the rest of the card here in a little bit. I got a couple other things I got to hit on with this match, though.
Gato was going nuts the entire match.
Well, I mean, that's Gato. I mean, Gato being Okada's cheerleader and pounding on the ring apron is that's his MO right there. But I mean, it adds to the drama. He gets the fans and everybody going like
he knows what to do. He's the hype man,
right at the right moments. And I love there's always like one guy who starts chants for New Japan, but then you can always it's a great gauge of the crowd, because the one guy will start the Okada, and then here comes the crowd. No, fuck that, Kenny. So it's a really good gauge to see where the crowd is really feeling, and so the crowd being solidly behind Omega there was a really cool spot. I talked about this on the predictions and the previous weeks on this show, what if Ibushi is the one to throw in the towel? And it didn't happen. They never teased it, but God damn it, if Kota Ibushi didn't have a towel in his hand.
Yeah. They didn't tease the throw, but like
No.
when he went up to the apron, I mean, just that move I felt was like he was getting close to that. Like,
but that was more. I get what you're saying there too. And the announcers, that was in that third fall was when the announcers started talking about the towel. But I noticed the damn thing when he came out with he's got 2 water bottles and a goddamn white towel around his neck. I'm like, oh fuck. But the thing is, in that third fall, that to me there was never that moment of desperation from Kenny. I was like, oh my God, is he going to throw the towel in? I thought the towel, if anywhere, was going to come from Gato's side, because after Okada took that one-winged angel and was so fucked up, going into the third fall, it was like that could be where the towel throwing bit comes into this.
Yeah.
But I love that even though they didn't do it, just that visual item was there as a callback to the Cody thing and everything else that went into this match. It's just that little detail of him having it there was just like, oh my God, it's brilliant. It's just so brilliant.
I gotta say too, with Omega, just like with him looking at him past title matches, he's always had that. I love his hair. It's just fucking a shaggy fucking mess, and the braids in it. It's just it's a wild. It was very clean, professional looking. It's just like you could feel like he was winning this with his overall appearance.
He's got the full blonde going on,
right? But it was very clean cut, very professional looking. It wasn't like a shaggy fucking wild card mess like he normally comes with. So just presentation wise, like they're just able to slap, just Kenny Omega stuff, now just clean, looking awesome, looking like a champ, looking like $1 million in a sense. So just to me, like things like that are just stick out, and I love it.
Yeah. Other fun stuff from this match. How goddamn Omega chops hard,
dude. I
mean, you could feel them, you could hear them. Just there's a bass.
He legit felt like the Terminator.
Yeah, that was good stuff. I mean, it's something that's kind of always been there too, but it's not like it's never stood out to me that much. But there were just moments in this match where they would be, trading forearms back and forth, and all of a sudden he would wind up and smack him with a fucking chop, right in the chest, or Okada would he would take one in the chest and turn away, and then Omega would just smack him in like the back of his neck or the upper part of his back, which played into the whole thing because his finisher is the one-winged angel. But just how hard he was hitting him was just a huge part
Chris
of it too.
Jericho even selling the one-winged angel still. I don't know what the interview was or anything. I just caught that little clip of it, but he was saying like taking the one-winged angel on a steel chair was the most painful thing he's ever take. He's like, I don't know if I could ever take that move again, steel chair or not. So it's just like, this move right now is just so powerful, and it's great. And even when you have Jericho out there, be like, that fucking move, man, it hurts.
yeah, all of that helps. Jericho's amazing.
Awesome.
Jericho's amazing. We'll get into that match here momentarily. About a few more thoughts on this epic thing as well. This big main event, this huge title change. So many questions going forward now in New Japan. We'll get into that here in a moment. I want to talk about the post-match first, though. Omega just celebrating with you talk about satisfaction, not only him winning the championship, but then reuniting with the Young Bucks.
Not even reuniting, the championship being presented to him and being, pause, let me go hug my brothers first.
Yes.
That's what stuck out on that.
My favorite one, or I shouldn't say my favorite, but really cool for me, being a guy that had to work during the day Saturday, I shut down all my social media. I went into the thing spoiler free.
I got up early as fuck.
But then by the time I got done with it, the new Being the Elite was out, so I went right into that.
Okay.
Nice.
So I watched this post-match stuff. He's talking about, people were saying I wasn't good enough. They said I should take the payday. They say I should be tranquilo. That seems like a bit of a teaser for something that lies ahead, possibly. So with him talking about, taking the payday and all that, but possibly going to WWE or whatever, but then him, cementing his place in New Japan. And watching the translated version of the promo, he's like, during this match, I felt that, there's been a change in what professional wrestling is, and I'm not leaving, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm proud to represent this style of professional wrestling and to represent New Japan.
And the president too, that first non-Japanese president the company's had. He's really going to push the West Coast, America vibe right now, because he sees it's hot over here. You
and worldwide,
push that shit. Worldwide, yes, but he's going more Western audience now too, and yeah, it's fucking good timing.
So getting back to the reuniting with the Young Bucks, creating the Golden Elite on Being the Elite, it was revealed that what was in the box were the Golden Elite t-shirts. This must be what they talked about doing back in the hotel room so many months ago, before all the turmoil in the Bullet Club separated the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And again, this is what we've been waiting for as people that have been paying attention to Being the Elite and the Cody saga, and that plays into it too.
I like that Omega knows the Bucks' shirt size even after they got beefed up a little bit.
But how about that moment there where they finally reunite, they crown the new champion, they put the belt around his waist, Cody just comes out just a little bit, but lets him have his moment. But just him making an appearance on the stage, but him
halts everything too.
Right. But then him deciding, let him have his moment, and they talked about that on Being the Elite as well, with like Hangman Page, like, when do I go out? When do I go out there? Like, when do I run in? And it's like, nope, we're going to let him have his moment. So, but just him making that little appearance that reminds you that, oh, this is still happening here. There's still turmoil here within the Bullet Club.
See, it's like I didn't like that he came out and just hey, bye, but it does make sense though. But it was just like, fuck, it took me out of that little celebration. Like, let's get it going.
But what I'm glad is they didn't go full on Russo on the thing.
Oh God, yes.
And have him come down and either attack or just even for him to come to the ring and grab a mic and get in his face and challenge him or whatever. Even that would have been like, oh, fuck off. Right? I mean, I'm glad it was all about the celebration. Just the tiniest hint of him sticking his head out and then going away like right away. Mm-hmm. It was just enough of a reminder that this is still going on, but you could still what's the word? You could still revel in the celebration or whatever.
It kind of felt awkward to me, being honest. It really did. Just like, I don't want him to fucking interfere or even grab the microphone. I don't know. It just felt weird, him coming out and everything coming to a screeching halt. It's like, Cody's here. Cody's walking away, and then him celebrating some more. So just, I don't know, maybe like him come out on the ramp and them kind of walk by kind of situation. Maybe would have it did feel really weird to me.
I'm glad that there was just a little bit of it, just enough.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, I understand why he came out. It is part of that storytelling that I do appreciate from New Japan. To me, it felt weird at the it's really fucking being picky though. At this point, like. So, yeah, continue on.
Well, let's talk about the Chris Jericho and Tetsuya Naito. And what a great spot for this match between the junior heavyweight match and then this crazy 2 out of 3 falls match, because this was just, we didn't really know what to expect going into this. And in retrospect, this is exactly what we should have expected. Just another Jericho fucking brawl.
Yep.
I thought it was really interesting that Jericho kind of brought a little bit of the WWE mentality to this match, and it's very subtle, and a lot of people might not have noticed. But of course, Jericho attacks Naito as he's making his entrance, full suit and everything that Naito is wearing.
He's beating his ass
playing
for a good
his
while
fucking music.
in the suit.
Well, and the thing, he's beating him up. He puts does the power bomb through the table, the DDT on the other table, and then Red Shoes doesn't ring the bell until they finally get in the ring, which is not what New Japan typically does. That's a WWE gimmick where if there's brawling and bullshit going on, they don't ring the bell until both guys are in the ring ready to start the match. But if it happens in New Japan, it's usually well as soon as there's contact and stuff going on, we ring the bell. So that was to me a noticeable difference there. And I attribute that to Jericho probably trying to bring a bit of a different type of narrative or logic or whatever to the match. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It just kind of takes away from.
That's what's so kind of suiting with the Jericho in New Japan right now is we know that Jericho is a great wrestler. We know he's a phenomenal storyteller. We know that Jericho invented everything. But, for him to come in and, it's kind of like what Bubba is doing in, Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the WWE Hall of Famer. Jericho doesn't need to fucking say that. He just needs to say, fuck you, fuckface, I'm a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, and then kick you in the fucking face. That's so WWE. But awesome.
That, and even though it is WWE mentality, I loved Naito revisiting all the stuff and paying Jericho back, bringing him to the same table and pile driving him on it. And again, one of the things, this is one of the few times I had to rewind and watch close, but Naito and him, they do that move perfectly to where it will not injure Chris Jericho. They literally nailed the curve. He just curves just right for his head, and then he just goes over to the side. It's beautiful how they hit that.
It's amazing. But yeah, a hell of a beat the shit out of each other.
Piss, yeah.
Yeah, just Jericho just hitting hard, going crazy. I loved the intense walls of Jericho, the submissions that
yelling
in the
at
match.
Red Shoes too. He tapped. God damn it! Tap his fuck face. I love it. I love him swearing at Naito constantly.
Well, and I love Red Shoes not taking shit even from Chris Jericho, pushing him back. Fuck you,
Chris Swearico.
But then I even love fucking Don Callis too on the microphone, because everybody knows that fucking Jericho's still in cahoots with WWE, doing his shit there. Fucking has the cruise with Ring of Honor. Jericho's just everywhere, and I love that Don Callis on the commentary going I hope the fucking people in Stanford are watching this side of Chris Jericho right now, because it's this is the Chris Jericho we love. He's so vicious and brutal right now, and it's so great to see.
Yeah, it's
and he, even before he was champion, he was in love and appreciated that Intercontinental Championship more than Naito does.
We had Naito with the bloody eye in the match. That just added to the insanity of it. I love that Jericho, he's got the weird face paint gimmicks on.
Oh god, it's too hot topic.
Stupid.
But that's what gets heat.
But and then his eyes
instantly, I'm like, oh.
He looked so fucking hungover at the beginning of the match. You just knew that motherfucker was out fucking drinking that vodka the night before, just like a maniac.
Oh, that Grey Goose with those Japanese ladies.
He had to fill that big old belly of his.
I'll fucking go party with Jericho. Do some karaoke with him all night.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
And how about Jericho winning the fucking
Awesome.
IC title? He beat the shit out of Naito the entire match. Naito made his little comebacks or whatever, but fucking Jericho.
It was a Jericho show, man.
Beat him up and won, man. My jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe that. So that immediately led me to start thinking, the gears started grinding. Is Chris Jericho going to be in the G1 Climax? What are we doing here? Evil comes out. Well, Jericho is attacking Naito after the match. Evil comes out and saves him. Looks like they're building up to an Evil and Jericho match for the title at some point.
I'm down.
But here's the deal. I looked up the Fozzy tour schedule, and I put this out on Twitter as well. But he's going to be really fucking busy between mid-July and the beginning of October. So, there's no way he can do the G1 Climax. It's a month-long tour, matches every night.
I almost... it would be great to see Jericho in G1 carrying it up there. It's just
it would bankrupt New Japan.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that he's I'm Floyd Mayweathering this shit. I want 6 fucking figures for every fucking appearance. He's all about the money in the show. That's Jericho. He's the money. But I almost love the idea of him taunting everyone in the G1 constantly on an every other night basis. Just get fucking pissing them off, firing them up, getting all these guys to, maybe get one of the best G1s to go face Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more selfie promos where Jericho's on the road or whatever, just
shirtless, drinking vodka.
Yeah, talking shit to everybody, talking shit to Evil, and maybe every time Evil loses in the G1, Chris Jericho, oh, you lost again, you fat fuck.
We see footage of a Fozzy show, and he comes out with lasers on his finger and a giant cipher. Hey, evil, you fuckface! Lasers in the camera.
Oh, that'd be great. Everything. Which, by the way, that happened again. I was watching the Japanese feed, and after Evil comes out and chases fucking Jericho out, he hits a big lariat on Jericho, and Milano Collection on commentary is like, everything again. So, that was fucking amazing. Where did it go here? I got to get there he is right there. Classic. So, yeah.
I love the championship being on Jericho, though. We can kind of put the Intercontinental Championship, I don't want to say on the back burner in a sense, but we can kind of bring that U.S. title to the forefront a little bit more. Because I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't defended at Dominion a little bit. I've been really enjoying what Jay White's been doing with the U.S. title and everything. So yeah, he was in that tag match. It's like, God, I kind of would like to one-on-one, but we're getting that in juice at I believe the San Fran
at the
show.
G1 special. Yep.
So still cool, whatever.
Seriously though, think about it. I just want to see Chris Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
That's the thing is I want him in whatever G1 block so I can see him versus all the other guys in that block or whatever. But it just sucks because it's not going to happen. We're probably not going to get an Intercontinental title match until October, King of Pro Wrestling or whatever the October. I think it's King of Pro Wrestling is October. So whatever that show is, it's probably not going to be Destruction. That's the tour right after the G1. But that's in September. He's still going to be on tour then, like in Europe, I think too, for that part of his tour. At least I don't remember
that's
exactly.
Quicker jump to Japan than America.
That's true. But I mean, I can't see him. Anything's possible. I mean,
he's a madman.
Flying
for a right payday to go fucking do it quick. He'll fucking go there just to drive in a car and call you a fuckface and fly back to France.
So anything's possible, but yeah, I'm not. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to find him in the G1 this year. Let's go to the excuse me, Hiromu Takahashi versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Another amazing,
Ospreay dropping the C-bomb. God, it was ridiculous.
Carl.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Well, that's a word that's used a lot more in the UK and in Australia. It's a little more common there, a little more accepted.
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, you cheeky. That'll be nice.
But yeah, hell of a match here. I actually did like the Hiromu and Taiji Ishimori match from the finals, the Best of Super Juniors, a little bit better. But I mean, these two just went balls out.
I love the fact that Ospreay before the match though released that post. It was either Twitter and it's probably the same thing. But him just saying, "This is what I do." I'm paraphrasing everything. I don't have it in front of me, but pretty much just saying, "Hey, this is what I do. This is what I show up for. I'm choosing to put my body on the line. If I want to go out there and fucking do some crazy shit to, against my competitors and it might hurt myself a little bit, I'm choosing that risk." And then for them to come out and fucking do what they're fucking doing right off the fucking bat, like the flip off the ramp.
Yeah.
It lands on his fucking feet.
He damn near went over him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's just like, I love that he posted it out there because it's like, I am one of those people that's like, dude, Ospreay, slow down. I want to see you in a couple of years, but at the same time, it's his right. It's his style. It's his choice. But, dude, protect yourself. We're just carrying fans, but we're going to back you.
And he even talked about that in his post-match. He's like, the world, everybody's saying I got to slow down. I'm going to listen to my body, take it easy, take some time off. Although he's got a match coming up here against El Desperado. He's got to defend his loss to El Desperado.
So he did say he was going to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Or not El Desperado, I'm sorry. He's got a couple of tag matches coming up. I'm thinking of Hiromu now. But he did say he's going to take some time off, listen to his body, slow down a little bit. And he should at this point because he's not, if Ospreay's not the champ, he's not going to have a big match until he's either challenging for a championship
it's like
or doing something else.
He knows when to go fucking outrageous and do crazy shit, and he knows when to turn it up to 11.
Sure.
So I'm glad he's gonna do it. Plus, he's got that shit too. I believe he's gonna try to work in New Zealand more, Australia more too.
Yeah, I haven't heard him talk too much more about that.
He was like hot on that, and then won the championship, and it was all New Japan.
Yeah, because since basically just committing more to New Japan, I think he's more he's more on the New Japan side of things than doing the New Zealand Australia thing. But I mean, that's still a possibility. I think his girlfriend still works over there quite a bit. So,
and she deserves a pug. She's fighting for a pug right now, and he's like against that shit.
Okay.
And I'm fucking team pug. I have a pug at home, so everybody
fucking
deserves a pug.
Ospreay avoiding hitting the concrete on the sunset.
It was perfect.
Yes.
Like I couldn't be more again like precise how he pulled that off.
Yeah,
hit the pads, and it may not seem like much, but that's a big deal.
Yeah, well, just perfect too because they peel back the pads early in the match, and they tease it a couple of different times, and then when he finally does go for the damn sunset bomb, Ospreay has the wherewithal to adjust his body mid-flight to get the fuck out of the way and land on extra padding instead of pure concrete. So that was brilliant. The double reverse Ranas in the fucking match were insane. Just a great, insane match. Hiromu winning feels good. It feels right with him winning the tournament. Awesome. It's basically a repeat of last year with Kushida having his redemption story. It was kind of the same thing here. Hiromu's been kind of on the downturn as of late and made a big run in the Best of Super Juniors and won it, and he won the title. So
I like that he won with his not his new finisher.
Not with the triangle, but with the time bomb.
With the time bomb, there we go. Like I love that he won with his finisher, the original finisher. It's like fuck. Like I love that he was whooping people with the triangle and pulling that out all the time.
And that goddamn butterfly pile driver where he's dropping dudes on his head. He calls that the D, by the way. And this was addressed in the.
So he's been giving him the D.
Yeah, he's been giving everybody the D and winning with the triangle and the time bomb, but mostly the triangle. But in the press conference leading up to this match, Hiromu's talking about the D and whatever, and Ospreay's like, I don't know why he calls it the D. It's a little bit weird because in England that basically means your penis. And then Hiromu's like, oh no. Oh my God! I had no idea. Oh my God! This is horrible. Like Hiromu was just selling it like he had no fucking idea. Oh my God! I can't believe this is awful. So
that's great.
That was really funny in that press conference there. So yeah, a lot of questions now. Does Ospreay move up to heavyweight? Does he stay at the juniors? In the juniors, does he make an appearance in the G1 this year? There's only. I'll talk about. I'll go through my G1 prognostications here again because they're going to be announcing the participants in a couple of weeks here on the Kizuna Road shows on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. So we got a little bit of time before those announcements yet. But I got some more prognostications, some updates to my prognostications from a few weeks ago regarding that stuff. But that's
my beer's gone.
Certainly a possibility. There's more beer, isn't there?
Yeah, I put it in the fridge though.
Oh, okay. Well, we got another podcast to record later. So.
Yay!
Anyway,
don't sound too thrilled.
Other stuff from the this fantastic Dominion show. Jushin Thunder Liger, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Rey Mysterio Jr. teamed up against Cody, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll. Cody got the win with the Crossroads over Jushin Thunder Liger, but Rey Mysterio Jr. teaming up with those two had a lot of fun.
How awesome was his mask?
Great looking mask. Good action late in the match. He had a double 619 in there.
I feel like this has been like the best match I've watched of him, like even compared to the Lucha Underground bits that he's done. This has been like the best I've seen him.
Oh, get off New Japan's dick, Joe. I'm just kidding.
Man, you try to help out.
The Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata. The Young Bucks winning the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles here.
I'm with you, Joe. Is awesome.
Yeah, the Young Bucks getting that title win right away over Evil and Sonata, granting them a rematch right away. We're going to get the rematch at the G1 in the G1 USA special at the Cow Palace, as well as we didn't really mention it, but a lot of people already know, Cody versus Kenny Omega is going to be for the championship at the G1 special. So their second match, of course, coming out of Super Card of Honor, where Cody won and the Young Bucks accidentally kicked Kenny Omega.
Like that everybody was worried about this card, and now it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean,
they're not going to do you wrong. They're not going to dick you.
Now that that's been announced, I have a feeling tickets are probably going to sell pretty quickly for that Cow Palace show. But getting back to the Young Bucks here, I thought it was a 4-star tag team match. I thought it was really good. Perfect stuff.
Again, the Bucks doing what they do best.
And then winning with more bang for your buck.
That was awesome.
Instead of the story of the match was, instead of Matt selling the back, it was Nick selling his foot after kicking the ring post. So it was Matt picking up the
kick
slack
into the post too.
Yes. So we had good selling from excuse me. From Nick Jackson in this match, and that being the story of the match, and the fact that they couldn't hit some of their signature moves because of him selling the foot or whatever, and having to win with their old finisher, which I thought that was cool. So
nice callback.
Nice belch.
Good beer.
Excuse me.
Good beer.
Then we had the never open weight championship match: Hiroki Goto versus Michael Elgin versus Tai Chi.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not my favorite guy.
You know what's funny is I watched Dominion 3 times at least. I haven't watched this match once. I started to watch it, and I was like, oof, fast forward. I was like, fast forward at the end, but everyone is down on the match. Elgin has the championship in his hand. I was like, oof, fast forward.
Yeah, it was good.
That was my story.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it just kind of is what it is. I don't like the guy. I think he's an asshole. He's a hell of a wrestler. He's gotten himself in hell of a great shape. He's got a new look, new gear. Whatever. It is what it is. The story of the match was, Tai Chi fucking running away from those guys early, getting involved late in the match.
God, I was rooting for him too.
But then it came down to Michael Elgin getting a hold of Tai Chi, buckle bombing him into Goto in the other corner, and then getting the pin with the Elgin bomb, pinning Tai Chi.
I believe it's Elgin.
So Goto has a. Well, let's go to Russo for the correct.
Michael Elgin.
Oh, correct. Michael.
There we go.
So Goto's got a gripe here because Tai Chi is involved. We're going to get the rematch between those two on the 17th at the Kizuna Road show. There, so possibility.
I'm Team Goto for now.
Possibility that the title could go back to Goto, but I doubt it.
Great night for chaos, huh?
Not a good night for Chaos. Decent night for Bullet Club. Horrible night for Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Yes. Oh, Hiromu.
I think you said that wrong again.
With today. Well, let's again refer to
Los Ingobernables de Japan.
I was close.
Still my favorite.
Nobles.
Japan.
Chuck
He's
Nobles.
trying to pronounce the O.
But yeah, you're right.
Chuck Nobles Japan.
But you're right. Hiromu winning the junior title is nice, but fucking Naito losing, Evil and Sonata losing. It's
Rough night.
Yeah.
Rough night.
yeah. Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. beat Toru Yano and Tomohiro Ishii. They're building up Suzuki and Ishii for a big singles match.
They are.
And this is going to happen at the Rev Pro. They're technically New Japan shows, but they're being jointly promoted with Rev Pro. So the Strong Style Evolved UK shows. And we'll preview those. Well, let me bring them up right here since I'm on them. Here.
That was my fucking head. Wow, concussion. Workman's comp on air.
Let's see.
Here's
here.
your peanuts. Boom.
They're going to do Ishii versus Suzuki for the Rev Pro Championship on the July 1st show.
Ishii, yeah, that's right.
Lot of cool stuff on these two shows, actually. Zack Sabre is going to take on Okada.
Why not?
Right.
As in a rematch from when Zack Sabre lost to Okada when Okada was still the champion. How about Tai Chi versus Will Ospreay on July 1st?
All right.
Well, let's have some fun.
How about Walter versus Yujiro Takahashi of the Bullet Club. That might be kind of fun. Shota Umino, the young lion, versus Yuji Nagata. That should be pretty fun.
All right.
All those from July 1st. And then the June 30th show has Umino versus a mystery opponent who we don't know. Could be Walter is going to take on Yuji Nagata on June 30th.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Will Ospreay. That's kind of interesting. And then the British Tag Championship match. Currently, the tag champs are Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. They're going to be defending against Okada and Tomohiro Ishii. Okay.
Oh.
So, these are some
Scooby-Doo-Doo.
Let's have some fun.
These are some pretty good shows coming up at the end of the month. Like, again, the 30th and July 1st. Typically what happens is, and actually I confirmed today on Twitter, they put it out there that they'll tape the show, and then it takes a day or two for them to edit everything and get it up on the Rev Pro on demand site, and then shortly after that they'll go up on New Japan World. So,
probably 2-3 weeks,
something like that. So they will eventually be up on NJPWWorld.com. Okay, so going back to this Dominion stuff, we pretty much covered most of it. Juice and David Finlay beat Jay White and Yoshihashi. Most notable here is that Juice actually hit his finisher on Jay White and pinned him. We're going to get that match.
Box.
We're going to the Pulp Friction. We're going to get Juice versus
Clash of the Titans
versus David Finlay for the U.S. Championship at the G1 special at the Cow Palace. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be pretty cool. And there's a pretty good chance here, I think, that that Juice might come out with that belt. So.
Wouldn't be bad. I'd like
to see him. I'd like to see him win it, especially in America. Where's he? Is he from America?
Yeah, he's a Chicago guy.
Oh, so yeah, like again, this would be a perfect opportunity.
First American.
He'd be the first American to win the IWGP.
I mean, what better place to win it than America?
Correct. So yeah, that'd be pretty
There's
cool.
not many New Japan straps on Japanese guys right now, is there?
Well, no, and really, that was the story of Dominion. I was about to get into the opener: Roppongi 3K versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru for the junior heavyweight belts. This was the only title that did not change hands on this show, and this was because of shenanigans, bullshit, and whiskey spit. The only other shenanigans really was the Jericho match, where Jericho hit the low blow on Naito before getting the win over Naito. Other than that, I mean, it was the Young Bucks winning. Again, you got Americans there. You got Elgin winning, who's technically an American, but originally a Canadian. Same thing, Jericho, a Canadian. Fucking Omega, a Canadian. But I think all three of those. Well, I know Jericho is for sure living in America.
Yeah, he's bringing that shit back to America where it belongs.
To Tampa. He said he was going to buy. Jericho was. Jericho was like, Naito doesn't even like to come out with this belt. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to eat, sleep. I'm going to shit with this belt. I'm going to go buy this belt a first class ticket so it can sit next to me on the plane on the flight back to Tampa. I respect this belt. I'm a happy IWGP Intercontinental Champion, a 10-time Intercontinental Champion.
I hope he gets a photo with Nakamura with the belt.
That would be really, really interesting. And then the only other thing from the beginning of the show, touched on it a little bit earlier, the new president, Harold May, had a nice, cool video package.
That was cool.
Him in his New York apartment getting called by Kidani, the president of New Japan, and bringing him in to help New Japan expand internationally. So, yeah.
I like that he was... I don't know if he was trying to bow or handshake, but they're like, no, put the coat on. Put the fucking coat on. So that was funny. But yeah, it was a cool little intro for him. I'm glad they did something like that. It wasn't like super tacky or nothing. And right into the show.
The only thing that had me worried is like, oh my God, is this guy going to be a quote authority figure with him coming to the ring and making speeches before shows? I don't think so. I think this was just kind of a one-time thing.
Introduction, yeah.
Just get people used to him.
Plus, it's big. Like I was saying earlier, like he's the first non-Japanese guy to be in that role for the company. So it's gonna be interesting what he does.
Well, the main New Japan president, I mean, he's out there like at press conferences. I mean, at podiums and stuff like that. So you still want to put a face to the name, kind of thing, rather than just have him show up randomly. So it was a good introduction.
I mean, Christ, right now, fucking, I gotta say he's already doing a good job because he already got fucking the Elite plastered all over WWE.com and their Twitter accounts and everything over a fucking video game battle.
Right.
So it's, he's doing something right if WWE's willing to acknowledge him so openly like that.
Yeah, that's
photos included.
Yeah, Omega and the Young Bucks taking on the New Day at a Street Fighter video game contest or whatever. Mm-hmm. That'll be pretty interesting there. So yeah, coming up for New Japan, the 3 Kizuna Road shows. The first one on the 17th, the main event's going to be Elgin versus Goto for the Never Openweight Championship. Then the show from the 18th, all 3 of these are going to be from Korakuen Hall live on NJPWWorld.com. Main event of the second show from the 18th is going to have Hiromu Takahashi versus El Desperado. Hiromu lost to El Desperado in the Best of Super Juniors, so he'll be defending the title here. El Desperado actually came up to Hiromu and challenged him in his post-match interview, so we're going to get that.
I still want Hiromu and Ray Ray.
Oh, man.
And yeah, we haven't heard anything else about Rey Mysterio yet. The third night of this 3-night Kizuna Road shows on the 19th is going to be the Super Strong Machine retirement ceremony. Now, there's the free match of the week on NJPWWorld.com is one with Super Strong Machine. I'm not really familiar with a lot of Super Strong Machine, but you can check that out there. And apparently this guy's not going to wrestle. It's just going to be a retirement deal, but he's going to have some of his representatives represent him in a big main event. It's some of the Super Strong Machine faction versus LIJ. So it's Super Strong Machine number 69, Super Strong Machine Don, Super Strong Machine Justice, Super Strong Machine Buffalo, and Super Strong Machine Ace taking on all of LIJ in the main event.
Sounds like a YouTube series, like.
I think it sounds super strong.
It does sound super strong.
Super strong show.
And then undercard of these matches, you got some young lions, you got a bunch of tags building up to upcoming singles matches and whatnot. So should be some fun stuff there.
Heck yeah. Before
I get into my G1 prognostications, let's take a couple of minutes here while we're talking about these Kizuna Road shows and the stuff coming up for New Japan. Let's talk to the noobs of New Japan, people that are
young lions?
Brand new, the young lions, people that are brand new to New Japan and how all of this stuff works. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can't afford to buy a subscription for less than $10 for NJPWWorld.com. The best way to follow along then would be listening to this podcast.
Absolutely.
As well as you can find there's a lot of other fun New Japan podcasts out there as well.
No, there's not.
The Access TV show is a decent way to kind of keep up because they'll show matches that have already happened, usually on anywhere from a 1-week delay to a couple of months delay. Yep. So depending on where they're at, and
I'm used to the couple month delay.
Right. But I mean, they try to do the Tokyo Dome show in the following weeks, like right away. I think they're going to do the same thing with Dominion. Didn't
they split it up throughout like 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Exactly. I think they're going to do that over the next probably 4 weeks because it was a 4 or 5 hour show, especially with the hour plus main event from the thing. So Access TV is a good way to keep up if you don't want to subscribe. But again, subscribe to NJPWWorld.com. You hear a lot of people say, subscribe to New Japan World. I've never gone to the website NewJapanWorld.com. I don't know if it exists. I'm not going to do it right now, but the actual website is NJPWWorld.com. They have a pretty good English translation available. There's a button right at the top of the site that you can
back
hit.
in the day we had to use Google.
Right. At one point, you'd use your Chrome browser because that would translate it for you. Do a pretty good job there. And if you're still having trouble with that, you can just Google how to sign up for NJPW World. There's going to be some great tutorials there. Again,
do you want a good price on a Toyota?
That's your NewJapanWorld.com.
Yeah, just pull me to a Toyota site.
There you go. So again,
This sedan looks nice.
NJPWWorld.com. You're going to get live stuff for all the big events. Not everything is going to have English commentary, but the Japanese commentary is a lot of fun too.
Enjoy it.
I recommend using your PayPal account too.
Yeah, using the PayPal account instead of trying to punch in your credit card information is going to be a little bit easier just to deal with the translation stuff.
If you do eventually want to cancel, I have heard it's easier to cancel through your PayPal than it is going through the New Japan site and trying to figure out the translations of everything to cancel your card. So that's one big positive PayPal. I've fucking had mine I have not canceled mine ever.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't
you know.
canceled mine. I recently just had to update my credit card information because the card I was using is expired and I got to switch it over.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to do that soon.
So that's what I was doing. So yeah,
and I have also heard too, when you do cancel, they do not save your info.
Okay.
It just deletes everything.
So
when you do sign up, you got to pick the username, all that shit again.
Right on. So again, the NJPW World site's going to have all of the shows. If you see something that says Road 2 show or Kizuna Road, like these shows coming up, those are going to be your smaller shows. Think of those as your Raw or SmackDown. There is no weekly live TV show or weekly current events TV show. Like even like I said, the Access TV show isn't really current events ever. So so for current stuff, you got to be subscribing to njpwworld.com. The Road 2 shows, these Kizuna Road shows, are your minor shows, your Raws, your SmackDown, where you're going to build up to the bigger show. So your next big quote-unquote pay-per-view, the next big show, is going to be the G1 special in the USA at the Cow Palace coming up on the 7th of July. So that's your next big pay-per-view, quote-unquote. So you got some time, but again, you got those 3 shows that'll fill you in the interim
Keep you
or whatever.
updated.
So another good way, other than the podcast, other than that website, to keep up with what's going on schedule-wise.
Subscribe at the first of the month too.
Oh, correct. Yeah, if you subscribe in the middle of the month, they're going to double charge you because they always renew the billing at the beginning of the month. So if you subscribe now, you're going to get charged again come the first of the month. So just be aware of that. Other stuff, I was going to say NJPW1972.com is the English website for news, the upcoming schedule, results, columns, and stuff like that. So that's the English website where you can just find out what's going on there. I know Kevin Kelly does a little bit of writing there, the English commentator, so that's a good place to get news. And then subscribe to the New Japan English YouTube page because there you're going to get a lot of the post-match promos, the interviews or whatever that are backstage, and you're going to get translated subtitles along the bottom there. No. Sometimes you get those on njpwworld.com, but the nice thing about the YouTube channel is that they're all going to be separated. So if you don't want to watch the Tiger Mask promo, you don't want to watch Yoshinobu Kanemaru, you can skip over those and just watch the individual.
It's all on a playlist on YouTube.
Right, you could hit a playlist too and watch them all consecutively, and just hit skip for the ones you don't want to watch.
Or you can just click the video on the side and go down,
right.
A cat dressed like El Desperado.
Right. So
imagine that.
But that's an underrated thing that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is that YouTube channel because you don't always get the translations on NJPW World Doc. They'll often put the post-match stuff up there, but you'll only get to understand the English ones because
I think it's YouTube translating them and not New Japan.
I don't think so. It could be.
It could be. I don't know.
Could be, but
I imagine that YouTube has their own shit nowadays to translate and do all that.
I'm pretty sure they do. It's almost like a closed caption.
I know YouTube will do automated English.
Let's just say it's all automated, like through their system,
right? But I don't know if it'll translate though. I'm not. That's what I'm not sure of. So
maybe
I don't know. I
do like to make shit up.
So who knows? So that's kind of your noob's guide to New Japan. And if you got questions, hit us up. All the social media links are in the description for the show. Strong Honor Podcast at gmail.com is the email, and at Strong Honor on Twitter. Always like to help out people that are new so they can get into it. Okay, so now on these Kizuna Road shows coming up, they're going to announce on the first night they're going to announce who is in the G1. Night 2 they're going to announce the blocks, who's in the A block, who's in the B block, etc. there. And then finally night 3 you're going to get the main events from each night on the tour.
Right.
A few weeks ago, I busted out my G1 prognostications, and I had 14 locks for the G1. Now, keep in mind, there are 20 spots available, 10 in each block. So the locks I had at that time Kazuchika Okada, current former IWGP champion, of course, he's in. Tetsuya Naito, number 2-3, most popular guy in the company, just lost the Intercontinental Championship, of course, he's in. Kenny Omega, Hiroki Goto, Jay White, current U.S. champ. Kota Ibushi hasn't been a champion in a while. He was in the tournament last year, number 2, 3, 4, 5 most popular guy in the company. Of course, he's in. Minoru Suzuki, former champion. Zack Sabre Jr., not a champion, but he was in it last year. Rising star, won the New Japan Cup earlier this year. Hiroshi Tanahashi, former ace of New Japan, had a nice run with the Intercontinental Championship last year. Of course, he's going to be in. Although, with his injury issues, I could see some people maybe putting him on the bubble, but I definitely have him in as a lock. Also, Tomohiro Ishii, Evil, Sonata, both of those guys were in last year. I fully expect them to both be in it again this year. That's the only tag team I have as a lock.
You think they might throw the Bucks in there, separate like Sho and Yo?
I don't know. That's a possibility. I have them on my potential list.
There are a bunch of beefcakes
But a couple more locks I have.
Beefcakes.
I got Juice Robinson as a lock. He hasn't been a champion, but had a couple of main event matches, was in the tournament last year. Got a big championship match coming up. And then finally I had Cody as a lock as of a few weeks ago. I'm going to keep. I got Cody I had him as a lock with a question mark because he's got the championship match coming up for Ring of Honor. So there's a likelihood that he could, win the Ring of Honor championship.
What a fucking gangsta. Ring of Honor Championship, New Japan Championship, NWA Championship, all in a matter of 3 months?
Right. So, but here's the thing. Cody wasn't in the G1 last year because he was the Ring of Honor champion, and Ring of Honor didn't want their champion losing some random matches in the G1 tournament. I'm going to make my official prediction now that Cody does not win the Ring of Honor championship at Best in the World because I think Cody's going to be in the G1. He's my number 14.
Awesome.
He's my number 14 lock for the G1, and I've added one more lock to the G1. I had him on the bubble before, Michael Elgin, who just won the Intercontinental Championship.
Fuck you.
He's
usually in it.
He's of course he was in it last year. Him just winning that title, or the Never Openweight title. I think I just said Intercontinental. The Never Openweight champion. Of course, he is going to be in it. So here's who I got. So that only leaves 5 open spots. So here are my the stars I have on the bubble. Hangman Page, Toru Yano. If Hangman Page were to be in it, this would be his first. So that would be big. Toru Yano, who's in it every year, plays spoiler with his skullduggery in there. I got Tai Chi, who could also play that role on the bubble here. Who's a new heavyweight getting that push. Just had a championship match. Toa Henare, who's been having nice matchups with Ishii earlier this year, although hasn't been doing a ton lately. It would also be his first G1. And then also on the bubble, I got Yoshihashi. He's a guy that's been in it the last few years, had some key wins, but just hasn't been doing a lot lately. So who are some other names as possibilities? Of course, we talked about the Jericho possibility.
I feel like Yoshihashi should develop a stoner gimmick because he always looks fucking stoned.
Right?
Hey, I got this cane, you guys. It's a bong. Check this out. Sorry, fucking sidebar.
Problem is that wouldn't get over the same way it would.
No, not in Japan.
Not in Japan, yeah. But yeah, Jericho, he's not going to be in it. It'd be nice, him being the IC champ, but he won't be in it. I added the name Hanma because he's making his return pretty soon. But I think with his injury issues, they're not going to want to put him in this grueling tournament.
Probably not a good idea.
Satoshi Kojima still out with injury. We haven't heard anything from a while. Even if he does come back from injury, I don't think he's going to be in the tournament. So here are some other beyond the bubble possibilities.
Jeff Cobb.
You talked about Jeff Cobb is definitely a possibility. And actually, he's going to be on these Kizuna Road shows coming up.
Oh, is he?
In some tag team matches. So Jeff Cobb is making his comeback. And I think I took off his
but Jeff Cobb is one powerful motherfucker.
Yeah. I got rid of it for this one.
Who the fuck put me in the ring with my Minoru Suzuki?
So
That's a good one.
so that's why we got rid of Jeff Cobb. But yeah, Jeff Cobb's making his return. He's a big possibility
All right.
for, especially that he's going to be on these Kizuna Road shows, and they're going to announce the G1. I would put him as a big possibility. You guys brought up the Young Bucks; they're a possibility. The Killer Elite Squad, Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
It really would be fun to see Young Bucks separate singles a little bit because, God, that really was fun seeing a show and Yo doing that.
And again, that's something they've talked about too. That they're not really into doing singles matches very much.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a kind of a big surprise there. Trent Beretta, if he's healthy, I don't think he's going to be.
Still injured, eh?
Yeah. But again, he's kind of been quiet lately, so who knows? But again, he's not scheduled on this tour, and I don't know what the
I
severity.
heard he got a bigger dick implant.
That's certainly a possibility. I got Kushida on this list. He's been another kind of quiet guy off to the
That's
side.
somebody I want to fucking see move up a little bit more.
Another junior Will Ospreay, a possibility. We talked about what's going to be next for him. That's a possibility. But again, with all those other names, I think it's a pretty full list on the G1 this year. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, those guys have been in before, so those are possibilities as well. Yujiro Takahashi from the Bullet Club, a possibility. Chase Owens is floating around out there. I don't expect him, but you never know.
Random question.
Yes.
Is Jinder Mahal a cruiserweight? It's not that.
Oh,
is it?
shit. Did Omega ever get a rematch against White? Jay
No.
White?
No, and I would like to see those two in the same block. I think that would be interesting there. But yeah, I tried to do some potential blocks, but it's the ugliest blocks ever. I mean, I'd like to see Ishii and Henare in the same block, but
I just want to see Ishii win it, okay?
yeah.
Right.
But they're not going to have Ishii go to the Tokyo Dome. I mean, at this point, it really feels like Naito.
I just want to see Constable Ishii.
No, nobody wants to see Constable Ishii. What is
I'm gonna second Taco on this one.
My botch.
I just see him fucking beating the shit out of everyone as his answer.
But yeah, it really feels like the Naito redemption story at this point. He's had a bad year. He lost to Okada at the Tokyo Dome.
This was supposed to be the redemption year.
He lost to Zack Sabre Jr. opening round of the New Japan Cup. He lost to Chris Jericho in a fucking brutal match.
He won the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, he doesn't give a fuck.
Well, he
about
won the championship that he doesn't give a fuck about, and then immediately lost it to Chris Jericho, who beat the shit out of him in the process. So he's having a very down year. It
But
feels
it's
like
all because he's fucking pandering to the fucking fans.
Yeah.
All of us going, ooh, tranquilo. It's like, no, you got to stop it, man. You got to become that asshole again.
But it makes you wonder if, I don't know. Is that going to work? Even him being an asshole is just going to elicit more cheers anyway. So
Doesn't mean he can't be an asshole still.
But I mean, there's so many great stories here as well. But with Kenny Omega winning the championship, what is Okada's role in the G1? Does he go to the finals? Does he win it? What does Omega do in the tournament? Who does he lose to and have to defend the belt against leading up to the Tokyo Dome? So lots of fun stuff. And I can't wait for those blocks to come out and for these names to be announced. So, all right, let's change it up and finish up with some Ring of Honor. So we're just a few weeks away from Best in the World. The Best in the World is going to take place on the 29th, which is the same day as that CEO fighting game convention that Kenny Omega is putting. It's a New Japan wrestling show on at the CEO game convention the same day as Best in the World.
Is that going to be on New Japan World?
That's the thing is,
.com?
I don't know if I don't know if it's going to be on New Japan World.com. I don't know if it's going to be NJPWWorld.com is the web address. But that's it. I don't know if it's going to be streamed. If it is, I don't expect it to be live. If it is, but maybe on demand after the fact. We don't have matches for it yet, but they've got.
I got a sidebar real quick. Going back to Dominion after the Young Bucks one, they went up to Don Callis and said, "Hey, we need a voice for All In."
Yes.
So that is a good chance that All In is going to be streamed or broadcast or pay-per-viewed or something.
I think the best chance right now, well, certainly they're going to probably, at the very least, do what PWG does and sell DVDs and Blu-rays, and possibly have it available to just to download, the stream of it or whatever to buy. So that's probably the most likely. I could see Access TV getting involved, wanting to broadcast this thing and just throwing a big pile of money at those guys for it. That's certainly a possibility too. Standard, regular-ass old pay-per-view, I think, is an option as well.
Twitch.
So, Twitch is free, and I don't know if there's a pay option on there.
But if there is, subscribe to it, and fucking with how obsessed everyone is with the Elite and Bullet Club and All In, I see people actually paying for that. People are willing to pay for quality product and shit that they're looking forward to, and this is a big one here. So I don't see it fucking break. Well, I do see breaking numbers on something like Twitch, but would I say go that route? No, fucking get pay-per-view. That's where more money's going to be at. But yeah, I see them still doing well money.
More bang for your buck. You know what I'm talking about?
And that's kind of their mindset with
Fuck
this
you
too.
Guys, that was funny.
Is keeping it cheap and available so everybody can watch it though. Go to the event. Tickets are super cheap and reasonable tickets for this. So I to me something like Twitch isn't out of the blue.
Yeah, as long as it's something that they're going to make money off of. That's why I said if Access TV throws a bunch of money at them, I think that's a possibility. But they're definitely going to find a way to monetize the streaming. The only issue is like Lucha Underground contracts. But even those now, like it's not as much of an issue because now Lucha Underground, they have a relationship with AAA, and now AAA has this relationship with CMLL and the Crash in Mexico. So now it's all
Impact's involved with that too.
Exactly. So now all of a sudden these things that might have been issues before are not as much of an issue
because they're realizing
under the bridge, man.
Everybody's eyes are wide open on the sport right now, and it's fucking great. So it's just right now. It's
and I think everybody
time to be a stingy. I almost said the C word.
but you're right, because I think everybody's finally realizing, look, there's money to be made. Let's band together or work together and try to make some of this money together because it's all about the stars right now. That's what's great about the indie scene and the Japan scene and what's going on with Impact and even Ring of Honor a little bit is that it's about the star power and who's drawing. And so
they kind of flip the tables a little bit to go into the MMA world. It's kind of the same shit. You look at the UFC and it's all about them. You look at Bellator, it's about the stars, and they're doing really well right now. Going back to the WWE, the professional wrestling world, same thing. WWE, it's all about them. We go look at everything else in the pro wrestling world, and it's like, nah, man, like fucking. Come watch us in this area. Oh, we're going to be fucking over here. We're going to be here. Hey, yeah, I'm in Iowa on a Tuesday. Sold out crowd. Sure, yeah, I'm going to go sell it in New Zealand real quick in a couple days. So, like, it's just fucking great. Like, the fact that people are spending more energy complaining about pro wrestling nowadays is like, cool, move on.
Yeah. So getting back to the CEO, we were talking Ring of Honor here, but we're going to go back to New Japan actually and talk the CEO thing that's on the same day as. Whoops.
King of Sports. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
The CEO show that is the same day as the Best in the World pay-per-view. So we don't have a card, but here's who's on the show. Of course, Kenny Omega. It's his deal. He set the whole thing up. So your new IWGP champion. Hiromu Takahashi's on the show. New IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Ryusuke Taguchi's on the show. The Gorillas of Destiny. Chase Owens. Kota Ibushi is on the show. Jushin Thunder Liger, David Finlay, Roppongi 3K, and one powerful motherfucker, Jeff Cobb. Yes. Nice. Also, Tetsuya Naito, big name there. Juice Robinson, Dragon Lee, and Rocky Romero. So a lot of big names on that show. So we'll look forward to seeing what comes out of that. But yeah, no card yet. But yeah, that's the thing. I haven't heard a lot of buzz about that show. We can just like, what's going on there? Because it's in a pretty big building too.
I'm also not mad at shit not being shown too. It's intimate. I love it. It's like a good comedy, stand-up comedy set. You go to this intimate environment. It's like, fuck, you appreciate being able to see there, being in person, and then you see all this hard work pay off, and you get an awesome fucking stand-up set you can come back to on a record. Kind of the same thing here. So it's fucking awesome, being able to get some of these intimate shit going on, like our WrestlePalooza we were going shit nuts for last week. So
right.
Well, times.
This CEO show, though, I think is in a bigger building. I think it's between 8,000 and 10,000, something like that. I want to say, don't quote me on that. I'm not positive here, but something along those lines anyway.
Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Weren't we talking Ring of Honor?
I think we were.
Right, let's try that one more time. All right. Ring of Honor TV this week, the third week in a row from Chicago. We got one more from Chicago, and then they'll be playing the TV tapings that they are recording, I believe, from last weekend when they were in New York. So those will start airing in 2 weeks on Ring of Honor TV. So, main event this week was the Briscoes versus Roppongi 3K for the tag team titles.
Awesome match.
Yeah, really good. Fun to see in person. Roppongi 3K getting close there at the end, but the Briscoes get the win after a low blow and some skullduggery in the match, of course.
Skullduggery.
Now that
I haven't even been a big Roppongi 3K fan. They've put on some decent matches, but this has been their best for me. Ring of Honor brought out the best, put them against the Briscoes. The drama was there. The crowd was going nuts, for them for those high spots. So I had a lot of fun in this match, and for half a second, I'm just oh man, I really want Roppongi 3K to win against the Briscoes.
Yeah, because Roppongi 3K versus the Young Bucks at Best in the World in a few weeks here. That could be fun.
Payback.
Yeah, the Roppongi 3K's been killing it lately. This was taped right before the Best of the Super Juniors, but they've got some momentum coming out of that. Yeah, they lost the match at Dominion, but had a hell of a showing there and a great match here. So good stuff from those guys. And Briscoe's getting a little momentum going into the Young Bucks match with the win here.
What do you think, Taco?
Even though there was the skullduggery.
This match, rewatching it, because we were there fucking live for it, was fun rewatching it. So, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Fuck you, Joe.
Tremendous analysis.
Opening match on the show was opening match on the show was Jonathan Gresham versus Flip Gordon. Hot crowd for Flip. Of course, this was the same day that All In sold out. Everybody wants to see Flip get on the All In card. That's a big story here. I was wondering today, what if the idea is that Flip never does get booked for All In, and then you have to come around to All In 2, and is he going to get booked for that one finally? I'm sure.
I like the idea of him sneaking into All In.
Yeah, I like the idea of him winning the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship and having to take on Cody. That's my fantasy booking for the thing, because I don't give a fuck about Nick Aldis.
I want them the day before. Be like, fine, you're in.
But yeah, who is he going to take on? That's the big question here. But yeah, he gets the win afterwards. And a fun little match between these two guys, too. I always like Jonathan Gresham. He has a unique style here.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit.
And Flip Gordon gets I like his Star-Spangled Stunner finisher there, too.
Yeah.
So, but the story here is Bully Ray coming out afterwards, giving the big swerve speech, saying, I respect you, you're a military guy, blah, 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 kick you in the nuts, fuck you. And
I'm amazed at Ring of Honor's editing abilities, okay? Because there was a good part where we wwere chanting, thank you, Flip, for his fucking services, and that was not on TV.
Yeah.
So just them, it's impressive how they're able to fucking edit the crowd and fucking play what they want to play. Weird on Ring of Honor. I'm not trying to knock on them or start some shit. I'm impressed with their editing abilities.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, where they
put work into it.
They've only got so much time.
Exactly.
That's
moving the show along.
Yep. And then the other match from the show, Kelly Klein versus Deonna Purrazzo. They did a pretty good job building this up over the last few months. A nice story here with Kelly Klein being undefeated or unpinned and unsubmitted for a while, then getting pinned and stuff. But there was shenanigans and skullduggery, and Purrazzo being the nice baby face throughout the story. She comes out ready for a fight in her jeans or whatever, and that was the story of the match. But
her whooping her ass most of the match.
Yeah. And then Kelly Klein getting the win with the end of the match, but that was after ref bump, skullduggery,
Skullduggery.
and all of the like there.
Gear looked a little better on Klein.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan. She's still a little green for my liking. Kelly Klein is, but of course,
I feel like she's been working really hard, body wise.
Yeah, body wise,
no, she's toning her. She's looking good.
Yeah, no, body wise, that's fine. I got nothing to say there. It's just the gear is not flattering in my opinion, and.
That's what I'm saying. Like she's toning up now, so like I'm with Joe. Like her gear, like it's looking better. It really is. Like she looks like she's I don't want to say she's taking it serious, but she's going 100%. She's all in.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah, she's absolutely.
It's like I'm glad you pointed out because I thought this was the best Kelly Klein. Image-wise looked like she looked great.
I got you.
It's really hard. It's like really thin line. You don't want to say something like rude,
Right.
I'm trying not to be about it.
For me, it was less
in a lot of hard work. And I appreciate that.
For me, it was less about the look, and it was more about how she looked executing maneuvers in the ring.
Yeah, and the story here too is. Peraza being the living fuck out of her the whole time too.
right. So she's a heel. She got her ass kicked. There was the skullduggery with the referee.
This was probably my favorite watching Deonna Peraza.
But again, the story too is that Peraza's on her way back to WWE, back to NXT. So it made sense for Klein to get the win in that regard here, and to build her up. Maybe we're going to build up to a match between her and Sumi Sakai at some point for the championship. Not at best in the world. We're going to get a big 8-woman tag at best in the world, unfortunately.
Oh, SmackDown.
Yeah,
basically. So that's going to be your women's match at the pay-per-view.
Women,
but nobody likes women's wrestling, man.
How dare you?
No one cares about women's wrestling, man. Women.
We love women's wrestling here. We just want it to be good. We want it to be good. I mean, this is Ring of Honor. They're supposed to be a cut above. They're very late to the women's wrestling game, and so they're behind the times in that regard. They got Tenille Dashwood, which is a good start. Sumi Sakai is good, but she's long in the tooth. But
that's why I'm trying to stay really positive about Kelly Klein, because right now is the perfect time to kind of I don't want to say dedicate yourself to Ring of Honor, but right now is good time to dedicate yourself to them. Help build up that female brand. You got some hard hitters there, and them getting a loss like Deonna Peraza, that kind of sucks for Ring of Honor right now. But this is where Ring of Honor also realizes, hey, you bring a lot of awesome guys in. Get out there, fucking fight for some of these ladies too, because getting them in is going to stick out a little bit more.
Yeah, and Ring of Honor has been doing a good job the last 3 weeks or so with these Chicago shows. They got women's matches on every show. I mean, the Sumi Sakai and Jenny Rose match was pretty damn good from last week for the championship. So the only other thing from this show is Jay Lethal cutting a promo saying that he's going to challenge Kushida at Best in the World. It's this is the big rubber match. They've had 2 matches before where each has had a win. So again, Lethal is on that redemption road, trying to pick up wins against people that he's lost to in the past year or so. So this, plays into that story, and should be a good match come time for the pay-per-view. So
I mean, come on, you've got Jay Lethal and you've got Kushida.
Yeah,
they're going to put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So this weekend coming up for Honor Club members, we got a couple of shows in Texas and some fun cards on these shows. The first one is in San Antonio. This is on the 15th here, and I'm trying to get to the screen up here so I can get the lineup here.
The old lineup, as they say.
Yeah, San Antonio is the first night. This is on the 15th, which I believe is that Friday night? I don't know what the hell is today's date? 13. Yeah, so that's Friday night in San Antonio. The Bullet Club is going to take on the Killer Elite Squad and the Briscoes. So it's the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll. Interesting, that team right there with Cody or Page and Scurll being on Team Cody and the Young Bucks being on Team Kenny versus Killer Elite Squad and the Briscoes. So that'll be a fucking hell of a show there. SoCal Uncensored taking on some guys from CMLL. It's Atlantis, Stuka Jr., and Guerrero Maya Jr. Women's match, Sumi Sakai and Tenille Dashwood versus Thunder Rosa from CMLL and Kelly Klein. Cody in a singles match versus Jonathan Gresham. The Kingdom two members here, Vinny Marseglia and TK Orion versus the boys. That should be fun.
Why not?
Good Jay Lethal singles match. Jay Lethal taking on TK Orion. And then a fun little match here. Punishment Martinez, Bully Ray, and Shane Taylor versus Cheeseburger, Delirious, and Shane Hurricane Helms.
Ooh. Wow, that's going to be rough for those guys.
He's going to fucking choke slam all those motherfuckers.
And then a fun singles match, Flip Gordon versus Rhett Titus.
All right.
So that's your Friday Honor Club show from San Antonio. And then the Saturday show from Dallas. Get the lineup going here. This is going to be... Okay, I'm not sure exactly what this is. I'm just going to read it how they have it on the website. This is a Proving Ground 6-man mayhem Ring of Honor Television Championship. So Silas Young is in the match versus Cheeseburger, Punishment Martinez, Jonathan Gresham, Scorpio Sky, and Adam Page. So whatever that means, TV championship match thing, that's going to happen.
TV title clusterfuck.
So then the previous night, the Briscoes and the Killer Elite Squad.
Spring break, isn't it? The clusterfuck match.
Yeah. So the Friday night show, the Briscoes and the Killer Elite Squad are on the same team. Here they're going against each other, so expect some skullduggery to go wrong on night 1, so they're going to face each other on night 2. Then Team CMLL, same team from the night before, versus All of the Kingdom in a 6-man championship match. Tennille Dashwood goes 1-on-1 versus Thunder Rosa from CMLL.
All right.
Cody taking on Shane Taylor in a singles match. Cool 3-way match here. Jay Lethal, Marty Scurll, and Flip Gordon.
Why not?
Then, yeah, exactly. Then the Young Bucks take on the boys in a tag match. And then the Addiction, to the SoCal Uncensored part of the Addiction, or the... What am I saying here? The Addiction part of SoCal Uncensored, SCU. Frankie Kazarian and Clinton Dix. Christopher Daniels taking on Shane Hurricane Helms and Delirious. That's those are your Honor Club shows coming up on this weekend. So fun stuff there. That's going to do it. That's going to wrap up the show. Let's do that Kojima tweet, and then we're going to get the hell out of here.
Now it's time for the Satoshi Kojima Tweet of the Week.
Kojima has not been tweeting much in English at all. I had to go all the way back to last week's tweet of the week.
Retro rewind.
But luckily there were 2 English tweets in a row from last week, so I picked the one that I didn't read last week. Again, follow Kojima at Cozy_Lariat. This is about his friend Tomoyuki Honma, who has just announced his recent return. Honma comes back to the pro wrestling soon. I'm glad. He is my best friend. I also want fans from all over the world to be pleased. Let's eat bread for celebration. So that's good stuff from Kojima there. So follow this show on Twitter at Strong Honor, Strong Honor Podcast at gmail.com. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/Strong Honor Podcast. Join the conversation. Ask us questions if you're new to New Japan, or if you just have questions or you got topics you want us to address on the show. That's a good place to do all of that. Strong Honor Podcast at gmail.com if you're not a social media person. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Make sure you check out our other podcast, The Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, at bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. Taco, where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at HGREB Taco.
And you can follow me, Joe, at JoeBPWP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for checking out Strong Honor. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever the fuck you get your podcasts. Make sure you give us that 5-star rating and tell everybody about the awesomeness of Strong Honor. Thanks. Bye.
Adios.
Peace.
Climax.
G1 Climax.
So I don't know how these points work out. I don't know about tiebreakers
and technicalities. I don't give a fuck. It's amazing. Hasta jueves. Adios.
What T-shirt did you buy?
I bought Futurama Power Rangers mashup T-shirt on RIPT.
Oh, I thought it was one that had like a giant fucking rooster with flex and it said cock tease.
No, that's definitely not it.
Oh.
It's Futurama and Power Rangers. Yeah,
I did see that one.
Definitely not what you just said.
Cock tease?
Yeah, that.
Say that 5 times fast. Cock tease, cock tease, cock tease, cock tease, cock tease.